Hi crafty friends, Amanda here with Crafting with Amanda, and welcome to my channel. Today I am doing a photo that I found. It has a little bit of distress and smudge in the corners. That's what I was kind of showing you on that photo, and I'll talk more about it later. But I'm using the papers from the Four Seasons winter set from Close to My Heart. I pulled out some of the gold foil paper and I punched some, or die cut and punched some snowflakes, and I did that in some white. But I love these papers, and this plaid, I'm adding a scarlet base to it, and that's just pulling out some of the red for the sweaters that the ladies are wearing. This particular paper, it speaks to me, it sings to me, it shouts my name. So I just absolutely love this paper, with the holly and all of the sprigs on it and the berries. I really like it. Do you have those papers that just sing to you? This is it for me. So the photo is of the women of the church group that we were at when we lived in northern Michigan, and once a year the group would go out to dinner to celebrate Christmas, and we would do different things for gift exchanges. Sometimes we drew names and we kind of did secret things throughout the year, and then a bigger gift at the Christmas party. Sometimes we did an ornament exchange. Other times it was a silly gift, like a wet elephant kind of thing, and those were a lot of fun. So as I'm putting this layout together, as much as I love that pattern paper with the boughs and the sprigs and the stars and all, it's so busy, I feel like I'm losing the photo. So I went ahead and matted that photo, double matted it really, so that it would stand out a little better on against those patterns. And then here I'm kind of making up this layout as I go. I'm not following a sketch or anything. It's funny, I've had some really good mojo lately with my creative ness, and I think some of it is because I have worked really hard for many days to get my studio kind of organized and things in order, and finding final homes for things. So not only do I know where things are at, I know where to put them away. I've recently, opened these bins and seen them. I have more work to do, but I think because I have recently reconnected with my stuff, it's just really helped me be able to just really work on some scrapbook pages and cards and get some things done. So I'm very excited about that. In fact, I did this for the layout I did on Friday the 25th for Makers with Heart. I did a bigger border, but I really like just this two-sided emphasis or feature. I'm not framing the whole thing. I'm just kind of sliding the layout down to one side. In this case, I'm gonna put this pine cardstock behind the upper left side of the page and kind of bring everything down. You'll have to let me know if you like this look or not. I really, again, it's just something that it just seemed like it helped finish out the layout. So here, the strips that I had cut from the edges of the plaid paper, I thought I would try as edges against that stripe, and they're too narrow and too busy for me, so I will end up taking those out. But I'm going to mat this photo again, and I dry fit my pieces. I don't know if that's something that you do normally when you are creating, but I find I need to see it. I'm such a visual or strong visual learner that I kind of just need to see it coming together. And this here again is another different kind of framing. Instead of framing the whole photo, I actually am just framing the top half, and the bottom of the mat behind this pattern paper I will end up slipping behind the scarlet strip that is anchoring it to the horizon, as they say. So I'm just cutting that off, and like I said, it doesn't have a bottom frame, or it won't, because I'm just kind of sliding it in there, like those magic appearing cards, color in cards. And here's where I realized that's not working with the stripes. So this is kind of my base, my foundation. I have this one photo. It already has the date on it, and it was printed with a frame. So I just added the scarlet frame. I'm going to banner cut the ends of this. It's funny, recently I had tried folding the paper in half and cutting from the corners to the center to banner cut the ends, and that just doesn't work for me. I cut up the middle, cut from each end. This is what works for me. And I find it interesting just how different we all are. I watch other YouTube channels just to support them because it helps their watch hours, but also to see if I can learn new techniques or be inspired. So off camera, I inked the edges of everything, and then I glued 2 pieces of white daisy cardstock together and ran it through my die cutting machine to get my letters for Welka Christmas dinner. And I'm just showing you here that I inked the edges of the word Welka again with that scarlet so that it would pop out with the busy pattern paper. I didn't need to do that with the word Christmas dinner because it's on a solid background. And it's surprising to me what just that little bit of inking does. So here I'm just taking some washi tape, which I found while I was organizing my studio. I had not had it since we had packed it up in California last April. I think it went into a box because I decided I would get by without washi, and then it finally showed up this week, so I'm happy about that. And here I'm just adding some glue, but I'm using the washi tape, and I lined it up against the bottom of a straight edge. And I don't know if you noticed, but with my ruler I made sure to bump all the letters up so that they were all at the same depth. And then if you peel back on the tape at a severe angle, it normally comes off really nicely. So I did that with all the other words. And now I'm just grabbing some of those snowflakes that I had die cut, and I have the old snowflake die cut. I'm really trying to justify getting the new snowflake die cuts because they're beautiful. I just haven't been able to do that yet, but you never know what could happen. So this is the old close to my heart snowflakes, and then the one on my board there to the left that's cut in white that almost looks like the spade if you play cards, that is a Cricut cut, and I just had it in my stash. Here my light fell. I have a new mount for it. My husband was in helping me hang photos here in my studio, and so I was like, hey, do you have a solution for this light? It falls all the time. And sure enough, as I was doing this, it fell. So, but we think we have a solution. It came in the mail. We haven't had time to get together and put it up yet. So here I'm adding the gold snowflakes with the white snowflakes, just kind of adding those stems in the background. And I believe those stems, I know that they're from the Cricut collection, but they're cut in, I believe, the old ponderosa pine. So it was that rich green, but it had a little bit of a blue hint to it, kind of like some of the evergreens have that. And then these brown leaves were left over from cuts that I sent to my gals that purchased the Craft with Heart card kits from me. And here I'm just taking some of the Post-it note tape and pulling up that cluster, trying to keep it together since I really liked how it was looking. It wasn't too uniformed. It wasn't, it was spaced just right. So I'm using Post-it note. I've seen other people use Glad Wrap to do that, but I thought I would try this. It didn't work perfectly, but part of that is I just didn't glue everything, but it worked enough that I could get those leaves and the brown branches and the snowflakes in, so that I'm only doing the last 2 here. And I'll do that again on the other 2 clusters. And I don't know if you do this when you are working on scrapbook pages and doing your clusters or doing your embellishing. Do you get so engrossed that you don't take a look at the big picture of the whole layout? You're only focused on, this 3x3 square of your layout? Because I do. I will get focused on one little part and I'll miss the whole big picture. So I'm trying to teach myself to, all right, step back a minute, take it all in. Where do your eyes go? What do you need on this? And I'm grateful I have my friend Kim Ferguson. She also has a YouTube channel. She's pretty good about it. If I send her a photo, I'll be like, so what do you think? And right away she'll be like, oh, it needs this, or you need a pop of what, and she's just really good at taking in the whole picture, and I appreciate that, and I'm starting to learn to do that myself. On this particular layout, that's exactly what I did when I was dry fitting the embellishments, is I was able to step back and take a look at the big picture and add in those brown leaves. And then I realized that this needed some more sparkle, but it needed these red gems, which are just perfect. And again, this is an old embellishment from Close to My Heart from years ago. It's a nice rich dark color. I can't even tell you what color it is, but it works for this layout, and it just helps bring everything together. So this layout came together very quickly. I will off camera add a tag that has as many of these ladies' names that I can figure out and tell you about, but some of them I don't know. I know they're a sister, so I have like the last name, but I don't know the people themselves. In pulling out my embellishments, I had these ferns again. I think they were leftovers from pieces parts that I sent either for a club kit or for the Craft with Heart card kits, and it just adds that extra little yes to this layout. I think they're probably cut in fern or maybe even the old olive. I don't know for sure, but it's greenery. It works with the gold and the white and the red, and it doesn't clash with the pine and the ponderosa pine. So it's one of these layouts that I love the paper. I love how it came together. I'm trying not to do one photos on too many layouts, but sometimes that's all you have to tell the story. Here's how you can connect with me on social media. I do have a Facebook group if you want to come and join in the conversation there. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I invite you to do that now. If you are a subscriber, thank you so much. I truly appreciate that. Here's another video you may be interested in. Be kind to yourself. Blessings.